Applications of AI in the home. We have what we call the smart voice assistants. These are AI-powered assistants which respond to voice commands and help users perform various tasks. You don't need to touch it, you just need to speak. Just the way I'm speaking to you. You just speak and then something is done. Let me ask, have you ever experienced that? Not at home, but just anywhere in your daily life. These things that we do on a daily basis. Have you ever experienced that? Some of you, maybe when you are doing research, like we are going to go in the lab and we share. Some of these things that we are talking about, we are going to maybe sample them today. If you don't need to touch something, but you just need to talk, and then something is done. You say, no, here you have done this, but okay, I want you to change here, ABCD, and you see something is done. So, that is smart voice assistants. And some of the examples, we have what we call the Siri. Siri appears like, it is just like a speaker. But when you speak, it responds. And it can be able to do exactly what you want. We have Amazon Alexa. With Alexa, you can speak and then it does what you want. How many of you have laptops or computer laptops? I know that. Have you ever used the voice notes to talk to your laptop and it does what you want? In the phone. Okay. Let's leave the phone aside. Let's focus on the laptop. A laptop. Have you ever used a voice note? You tell your laptop, close this tab, and it closes. You tell your laptop, now shut down, and it shuts down. But do you know that it has that feature? Okay. We shall find out. So when we talk of AI, a lot of things. Only that we have not discovered how to use them, but they are there. So with Amazon Alexa, you just speak to it and it happens. Now, for this case, we are saying that all these things, they should be connected to internet. And it means your bulb, they have to be communicating with Alexa. So if maybe you are sleeping and you don't want to to stand up, you move and then you go and switch off the lights. You just speak to Alexa, Alexa, please switch off the lights. And the lights will go off. Say, Alexa, close the door, and the door will close. Alexa, I want to watch news. And automatically, it will switch on your TV, and it will select the channel that you want to watch. So, when we talk of smart voice, it means you are not touching something, but you are just using your voice to communicate. Now, we have what we smart devices. When we talk of setting alarms, I think, do you have someone here who does not set an alarm? Yeah, I understand some people have the alarm clock in their head. But me, without any alarm, I can sleep maybe for 2 days without waking up. So we do set alarms. But did we know that it also uses AI? But then we have the more advanced one. Adjust lighting based on occupancy. So we have AI, the way it is automated, basing on how the lights should be operating. In the house, we expect the lights to be off, right? But sometimes you can be rushing and then you forget to switch off the lights. You go. And you know very well that as the lights are on, it means some your car is going, right? So with smart light, for instance, when you are watching maybe your new news or you are watching your movie, you don't need too much light. For those ones who have ever gone in cinema halls to that the place is always dark. So also when you are watching your movie at home, maybe you need to reduce the light. But how do you reduce? Because when you go to the switch, it means it is going to be completely off. And when again you want to see, when you after watching the movie, you have again to move around to go and switch on the bulb. So with smart lighting, this one, it can be configured in a way that when you switch on your TV, maybe you're watching it, watching maybe news or a movie, the lights goes off. When the movie is over, then the lights can come on. Now, sometimes these ones are also installed, it can be in the kitchen. So in the kitchen, sometimes they can be programmed in a way that they have to sense the footsteps or the vibration. If it's not the vibration, maybe it can be sound. So as you speak, the lights can be able to detect the sound and then they switch on. How many of you have CCTV cameras at home? If you don't have them, maybe you have ever seen them somewhere. Right now, we have CCTV cameras which are not on 24/7. They can only be on when they sense something. So they sense an object and then they come on to capture. And then not any other object, not any object, but some of them are programmed in a way that they sense specific object. For instance, when you talk of a human being, we have some kind of heat that we emit, our bodies emit. So it can be programmed just to sense the heat or the temperature. And then it powers on and it captures what it does. That is all AI. So for this case, we have street lights there in town. Right now, if you go, you find that they are off, right? But when it comes in the evening, have you ever seen someone going on that security light and then pressing a button For those ones who be in town, if you go around and then you check very well, do you see a switch somewhere? No, they are just automated. They sense. If they sense light, they will not. When it is daytime, they cannot light. When it is comes to, when they sense some darkness, automatically they power on. So these things are already into existence. We are experiencing them. We are seeing them. But now we are asking ourselves, how can we transfer this at home? So why do we use smart lighting? One, we are saying that it saves energy. Like we said, as you keep on keeping your lights on, it means your money is also going. Of course, that is Yaka. There is also comfort. Even if you go and then you forget switching on your TV or what, everything, you are very comfortable. You know that I'm going to go back. Alexa will do everything. Or you can just use your phone to control everything and you be safe. And then enhanced security. So with this kind of lights, even when they are outside, they can also be programmed in a way that they cannot light transnight. So they can be programmed in a way that they will only emit light when they sense something. Maybe if you're sensing that maybe someone is coming, if someone comes closer to a certain centimeters, then the bulb has to switch on. So enhanced security. Then we have smart security systems, AI-powered cameras and sensors help protect homes by detecting out of storage very fast. So to avoid that, you should go for a camera that can just, you are interested in capturing what? Maybe for security purposes, you want to look at, you want to capture people who comes in your premises, maybe who trespasses, maybe thieves. So it means you go for that specific camera that only filters out human beings to save your storage. So features, we are saying this kind of camera, smart security camera, it will sense the motion. So it will be off sleeping, but as long as it senses anything in motion, it has to wake up and capture whatever is going on. Then Then we have smart appliances. Modern appliances use AI to improve efficiency and convenience. When we talk of appliances, we are talking of smart TVs, we are talking of refrigerators, we are talking of we have washing machines. All these things, they use AI. A refrigerator machine will be able to detect the the things that you have tried to store in your fridge. They will be able also to know the stock. If you overload it, it will complain instead of breaking. If we use these other manual ones, they can just break because there is no way you will know that you have overloaded it. But with this one, it will tell you, please, I'm unable to carry this capacity, then you have to reduce. When you talk of the washing machine, it will be able to tell you the capacity of clothes it can be able to handle. For us, we always use the basins. If you get your basin, even if the clothes don't fit there, but you'll fix until they fit there, because it will not complain. But with this, it will be able to complain, and it will tell you, if you give me this amount of weight, I will be able to do the work perfectly. If you overload it, it will not also do the work that you want. So all this is with the power of AI. So we have smart refrigerators, smart washing machines, we have the smart ovens. These ones, if you have something that you are preparing or you are cooking, you put inside, and instead of it burning, it will cook it very well. It reaches a point and knows that this thing is ready, and it will stop. But if you use your fire at home and you go somewhere, you delay from there, eventually what will happen? It means your food will burn, which is not the case with the smart oven. So we are saying that with AI, it has come to simplify our lives. Even if you do something here and then you move, you have just, maybe you say, let me reach here in the center, and then you reach in the center. You find yourself, you have reached in town, and you have delayed from there. You are very okay. You know that I will go home and I find everything is fine. But with our ordinary homes, if you go and you have put something here, you are doing something which requires your too much supervision, and you go away, it means you are going to come back when everything is spoiled. So with AI, everything is now under control. Then we have the smart air conditioners. The smart air conditioners will be able to regulate your home or your house. Once it detects that the temperatures are now low, it will go off. If the temperatures are high, it will come on. So we have to appreciate AI. Where we move, people always say that AI has come to take away people's jobs. But when you look at AI, it's just a tool that we have to learn how to use it. And the best you know how to use it, it means you're also going to become the best person in the community. You are the person who is going to take away that person's job who doesn't know how to use AI. Some time back, before computers, you could do things manually, and they were very perfect. But when computers came, people say that computers have come to take away people's jobs. But we see right now that a computer cannot work on its own. It needs a human being to give it a command. Now, also with AI, you'll see that AI needs to be trained by a human being. So if you know how to use AI, it means you are the one who is going to replace that person who is not learning how AI works or how to use AI. So we have robot vacuum cleaners. We know that for us at home, you need to get your broom, you bend your back, and then you sweep. You enjoy all that dust. But here, AI is saying we can be able to use a robot. So this is AI-enabled robot that can navigate rooms, avoid obstacles, and clean floors automatically. Because a person will say, but if you use a robot, how will a robot be able to dodge? In your home, you have a table, you have seats, you have a fridge, you have what? So it means maybe it can be able to knock all those things. No. We are saying this robot, the way it is configured with the power of AI, it can be able to avoid obstacles. Why? Because it is having a camera. There is a camera that it uses to move. Once it finds an obstacle, it can be able to change the direction. And these ones are used to clean the floors. So instead of you maybe hiring a cleaner, instead of you buying the broom, you can have a robot vacuum cleaner that can be able to clean your floor at home. So then we have the energy management. AI systems that monitor electricity consumption and optimize energy usage. You have different machines at home that can consume power. Like you have the washing machine, you have your TV, you have your refrigerator, you have your cooker, you have everything. You have the bulbs. So all these things will consume power. But then, if we use energy management, it will be able to calculate how much energy has been consumed by your fridge. How much energy has been consumed by your TV, and you'll be able to know and be in a position to see how you can be able to manage. So we look at the benefits of this equipment. One, there is lower utility bills. We know that bills are killing people. People are scared. People are crying of bills, electricity bills, food, soap, whatever, everything. Those are bills. But when you come up with some of these things, they can reduce on your bills. Say, for instance, if you buy a robot vacuum, it can be able to save you from employing maybe a housemaid who is responsible for cleaning the floor. And you buy this once and for all, and you keeps on doing that work. So it lowers your bills. Then reduced energy waste. So there are some appliances maybe which can run continuously. Even if the activity which it was required to do is over, it will continue running continuously. So it needs the energy management to check it. And once the roller is over, so it has to switch off to save that energy. And then better environment sustainability. Of course, we know that we live in an environment whereby as the environment takes good care of you, you also need to take good care of the environment. If you spoil the environment, you're killing yourself. Like they always tell us that we have to plant trees. The more you cut trees, for you think at that point, you'll be enjoying because basing on what you are doing at that point, it will be important. But in the long run, you also now start feeling it, because you are spoiling the environment, so the environment will not be in a position also to sustain you. So by use of AI, it means we are trying also to save our environment. Then we have home entertainment. AI personalizes entertainment, especially experiences by recommending content based on what a user wants. Now, I want to ask this. How many of us here use YouTube? You go to YouTube and then during your free time you enjoy something. Maybe you go to YouTube to do some research. Just by show of hands. Some people, they don't use YouTube. Now, I want to ask, if you use YouTube, it means there is that specific thing that you always look for. You go today, like for the IT guys, you go today, you are searching about Python programming. You go tomorrow, you are searching about C++ programming. You go the following day, you are searching about JavaScript. You go the following day, you are searching about, and you realize that for these first 2, 3, 4 days, the content you are trying to search, and if you scroll down, you find that most of the things that they bring for you, they are related to what you have been searching. What causes that? Have you ever experienced that? Or you have never paid attention to that? So, with the use of AI, as you do something, it is learning. Remember, we say that when we are dealing with these smart or intelligent systems, they learn, or we train them. So as you are doing that, there are models they used or they trained to follow these things. So as you do that thing, AI is learning. We have what we call AI and machine learning. It is following what, it's monitoring what you are doing. So it keeps on filtering what you want, or something that's related or is in line with what the user has been searching. And that is exactly what it gives you. So also here with AI, when we talk of home entertainment, if you're a person who uses Netflix, you go Netflix, maybe to watch some movies, you realize that it will arrange for you. The moment you just open your YouTube like this, or your account like this, it has already selected for you what it thinks is the best for you. Why? Because it has been monitoring what you have been doing in the previous days. Then music suggestions on streaming services. And also personalized viewing experiences. It has to go through and monitors. If you have never used YouTube, you can try to do that. Use your YouTube for certain number of days and try to scroll down. Try to scroll down and then check those videos or that kind of music. You are going to realize that whatever it puts for you there, it is in line with what you have been searching for. That is the power of AI. So, when we talk of AI, this is our smart home. And it has a number of benefits if you make your home to be smart. So we see that it creates greater convenience. Like we have talked about a number of things. You have talked about the lights. We have talked about your TV. We have talked about your doors. You have talked about your gate. And imagine if you are alone, you are in a car. You first reach at the gate, you get out of your car, you go and open the gate. Come back, enter your car, you drive in or out, then again you come out of your car, you go and lock the gate. That is so tiresome. It becomes inconveniencing. So, with the use of AI, it becomes easy. Just with a remote. Press a remote, or even if not a remote, you can use a sensor. It senses your car, maybe even your number plate or whatever, depending on how you have trained it. It sees you coming, it opens, you go out, and it closes. That is beautiful. So, one, it creates convenience, and then also energy efficiency. We have talked about bills and then lights among others. And then we see that there is personalized entertainment. If you're a person who likes certain kinds of music, you don't need to do a lot of search. You just open, and then it will be able to open for you, or it gives you what you want. I've shared these notes in your group. If you are unable to see here clearly, I'm very sure you'll follow, or you'll check in your group. You have them. Okay, so we have been talking about smart home, and we have been talking about AI. So want to talk about types of AI. AI is very broad. But we have types of AI. We have what we call narrow AI. Narrow AI is designed specifically for some tasks. It has some tasks to handle. They are specific. So being specific, it means it can do only one thing, or two things, or three things, and ends there. So when you look at narrow AI, it is designed for specific tasks. For example, if we talk of the voice assistant, like Siri, for it uses only the voice. So it means you cannot say that you are typing. So it means if your voice is unable to produce sound, there is no way you can use it, because it only accepts commands through the voice. And it also emits those commands. It receives, you speak, it receives the command, and it executes the command. If you say, Siri, please switch off the lights, because we say that all these things, they are to have a smart home, everything has to be connected on internet. So it means there is a communication. You have to make sure that all these devices, all these components, they have to communicate. And we have recommendation systems on Netflix. You know that with Netflix, it will only give you the entertainment. It will give you movies and then the music, and it will stop there, because it is designed for entertainment. You will not go for it to ask you to write for you a code and it gives you no, because it is designed for that specific task. Then we have here the chatbots like OpenAI, ChatGPT. We have also some chatbots which are designed specifically for a specific task. They will only handle that. For the IT guys who will be able to develop maybe some systems, you can use AI personal assistant, and you come up with your chatbot, which can help you to answer questions. Maybe when you are not available or when a client sends a message. I know some of you, you have your WhatsApp and you have automated your WhatsApp in a way that when a person sends a message, there is always that response that a person gets, right? How many of you here have that? Or if you don't have it, maybe you have ever sent a message to someone and a message, you receive the feedback immediately, telling you, thank you for contacting us. Maybe we shall get back to you later. So those are some of the chatbots that we are talking about. Narrow AI. Then we have what we call generative AI. Now, generative AI creates new content. And this new content can be in form of text, can be in form of images, can be in form of music, can be in form of videos, codes, among others. And you realize that this kind of AI, you'll ask it, whatever you ask it, it will be able to give you. Why? Because it is multi-purpose and it can be able to generate for you. But now it depends. You have to also to know what you are looking for. Because for it, it will give you a response. But do you think that is the rightful answer or that is the rightful information you're looking for? Now, that's why we said you have to know how to use AI. Everyone can use AI, but how are you using it? Because once you give it anything that you give it, it will respond. But also, you should be able to filter out the kind of information that AI is giving you. Because we have said, if you want a text, it will be able to give you a text. If you want an image, it will give you an image. I can take an image, can take a photo of you, I put in AI, and then it gives me a different person. Will you also just accept that because it has given you that image? So we have to know. With AI, to interact with AI, we use what we call prompts. So it depends on how you are prompting your AI. You should be able to write a prompt which you know that is going to give you the rightful information. And I'm very sure that in the next session we are going to demonstrate this. We are going to be in the lab and you'll be given a chance to interact or to see how these things, some of them are done. How can you be able to interact with AI? Some of you are going to get interested. You'll know how to use it today. Or some of you will keep on learning until you perfect how to use AI. So we have here working practical. In the working practical, these tasks can include understanding language, like chatbot. You have to understand the kind of the language that you can be able to communicate with the chatbot or with the AI. Like for instance, if we talk of the chatbot prefers some short answers or what we call the short prompts, because it will, if you go like for instance, there are some chatbots which are designed specifically, if it is for the website or for the organization, they are designed specifically to handle only the activities of the organization. For instance, I'll give an example of Livingstone International University. If we had a chatbot, these are some of the questions that you'll ask and it will be able to answer you. You'll ask how many courses are being offered at Livingstone, and it will be able to generate for you all the courses because it has that information. Then maybe you ask how much, or maybe the tuition structure, and it will be able to give you. Where is Livingstone International University located? It will be able to give you because it is a chatbot. It is trained on which kind of feedback and information it is supposed to give. If you ask it anything outside Livingstone, it will tell you, I don't know. Okay? Then, so when you are interacting with AI, you should understand which kind of language that you are using and which kind of information you are looking for. Then, recognizing images or speeches. With AI, we can use AI to recognize someone's speech or someone's image. They always tell us that as we move around, we have some people that we resemble. A person can see you here and then goes in town and see another person, then he might think that you are the very person. So, but we can use AI to detect this in image recognition. And I am very sure that those guys who will do IT here, at one point you'll be asked to come up with systems, and you can choose to come up with a working system that can be able to recognize someone's image. So it means you can choose one of the languages, like maybe Python, C++, Java, or any. And then you come up with a working system and you train it. It means training it, you are going to use AI to train your models. So you train your models in a way that you first give it, you feed it with some information or an image. Then you train it. When you see this image, please, can you confirm that either this person is the one we are looking for, or depending on what command you give it. Then when there is a person who is, maybe when you see a different image, please confirm that it is not the one. So with AI, we can be able to train our models and be able to do this. So in recognizing images or speech, we get someone's speech, we load into the system, and then we use it. So they bring you say, okay, I'm not the one who did this, I'm not the one who said this. Then they will put you to sit in front of the system and then you speak. So it will be the system to detect, not a person to say, because you speak like so and so, and they say, because these systems for them, for us, there are certain things that we might focus on, but the system will also have specific things that it looks at. Okay, so we have solving problems. We know that with AI, it helps in solving a number of problems. Like you have been going through, you went through the first session, we see that they are deployed in different fields. And the AI has solved a number of problems. Then, learning from data. just like we said at first, that AI is a trained model. Whatever you are going to do with AI, just understand that at one point someone trained this model. So if it is trained, where did they get the information? It is the data that they collect from different fields, and then they feed into that model, so that when you go and then you ask for something, it will bring for you. It will bring for you. So AI learns from different data which has been fed into the system. And then making decisions. AI is good at making decisions. Like those people who do statistics, when it comes to analyzing or analysis, you can use AI to help you instead of sitting and scratching your head from morning up to evening without getting answers. You can be able to use AI, you do your analysis, and then it will help you to make some decisions. Then generating text, music, code, or images. We are going to see this. We are going to be able to interact. You will generate for us some text. You'll see how to generate some music using different types of or different examples of AI. Then generating codes for those ones who want to be like programmers, designing your website or your mobile application just within some seconds. But that one, it will require you to have some programming skills, because it will generate for you, but there are certain things it will not do for you. So it will need you also to have some knowledge. After generating for you the code, how will you use that code? Of course, you have to carry it and then put it somewhere before it gives you what you want. These websites that you are seeing, or when you go online, you see them. So you can also come up with one. Even today, it is very possible. But then, it needs some programming knowledge, because it can give you a code which you'll need to also do some debugging. Hey. Then with images, we know that we always go for, they will tell you, please come with your 2 passport photos. Sometimes maybe you don't have money, but do you know that AI can just make for you that? So we shall see. We are going to see if it is possible. But if it generates for you, will it give you the real you, or it will give you your sister or your brother's photo? We shall be able to see. That's why we say that when you're dealing with AI, you should know exactly what you are looking for. Because if you don't know what you are looking for, it will give you, AI will give you what it thinks, or what AI thinks is the right thing, but for you, is that what you want? So you should know. Because if it gives you a different thing, please tell AI that, no, this is not what I wanted. Can you change here, and then change that? Okay, so here we have ChatGPT. How many of you have ever used the ChatGPT? Hello? How many of us have ever used the ChatGPT? Okay. How many of us have ever used, there is this AI which is on WhatsApp, is called what? Meta AI. How many of us have ever used the Meta AI? I know that if you are really coming from the student background, from A level or O level, you are a victim of that. If at all you have been having a smartphone, they give you some work to go and do, you use Meta AI. Isn't it? Eh. And if your teacher has been so much keen, has maybe told you that no, this is not your work. The way I know you, you cannot write this. But we want to see, if we talk of ChatGPT, we have to understand that it is an artificial intelligence chatbot developed by OpenAI. That's a company that developed this ChatGPT. We have a number of AI, but some people, they know ChatGPT because at least for it, when it came out with loud noise. So it is designed to understand and generate human-like text responses. Users can ask questions, write essay, generate ideas, summarize documents. It can translate languages, create code, and much more. So if you understand how to use AI, depending on what you want, if you go to ChatGPT, it will be able to give you all the things that we are talking about. If you're a doctor can use ChatGPT, a farmer can use ChatGPT, a teacher can use ChatGPT, a student can use ChatGPT, an engineer can use ChatGPT. So it cuts across, depending on what you want. So ChatGPT is widely used in education, business, research, and content creation because it helps users complete tasks quickly. How many of us here are content creators? You people, do you have some YouTube channels you have created so that we can follow you? Subscribe? How about WhatsApp? Sorry, not WhatsApp. TikTok. People, we don't have TikTok accounts. You have. Is it for making some money or just for entertainment? For business. So for those ones who are good in content creation, some content that you view on TikTok, people use these tools to come up with that kind of content. You see some avatars, you see some cartoons, they are talking, they are communicating, they are doing everything. They use this kind of tools to come up with such information that we always consume on TikTok. And we shall also be able to see how we can be able to come up with that. So if you're in education, just like the way you are here, you can be able to use ChatGPT. If you're in business, don't die alone. Don't suffer with a lot of things, like performing some calculations, maybe analyzing your data, how your business is doing. You can be able to use ChatGPT. Then with the research, for those ones who are aiming at joining university, if you are doing a degree or a diploma, you will not graduate without doing a research. So it means this tool can also help you, but you should know how to use it. Because if you go there and then you generate content you take to your professor, don't be surprised if they chase you away. Yes. Just that you have to be wise. You have to know how to use it. Okay. So when it comes to using ChatGPT, we are saying a user will enter or enters a question, or which we call a prompt. Here in AI, whatever you give AI, we call it a prompt. You are prompting AI to give you the feedback. So ChatGPT will analyze the text using artificial intelligence and what we call the natural language processing. It will understand the context and generates an appropriate response. So if you give it, it will be able to read through and it will be able to collect for you some content and generate. It gives you the feedback. Now, you have to read through that feedback and you see if it is really what you want. If it is not what you want, then it means the prompt that you gave it was not the rightful prompt. Or you can give it a new prompt, or you can pick that and then you polish it yourself. So it helps users by providing information, explanation, recommendations, and automated assistance quickly and efficiently. So if you don't have an account with ChatGPT, today we are going to get one and you'll see how this tool works. Shall be able to take you through and see how this tool works. You'll be able to generate some of these things that we are talking about. Okay. We have another tool here called TL Div. Is an AI-powered meeting assistant that records, transcribes, summarizes, and analyzes meetings from platforms like Zoom, like Google Meet, like Microsoft Teams, among others. How many of you have ever had meetings online? Yes. So, you'll be online, but maybe sometimes you can come when the meeting has started and there is no secretary to take minutes. So, we always use this tool to help us summarize what the meeting is all about from the start up to the end. It will be able to capture even the person who said what and who responded. And this, it was originally named after the internet abbreviation, which we call too long, didn't view. So we have some people who pretend that they are attending online. Can be an online class or online meetings. A person will set his or her device, logs in, but he still goes away to do other activities. So for you, if you are that kind of a person, it means you can use this tool to capture the information or to summarize for you what has been discussed in the meeting, and during your free time, you can remind yourself of what transpired in the meeting. So it has the key features. One is that it has automatic meeting recording. It will be able to record the meeting, and then it will be able to transcript. So it will be able to record the meeting, but it will also be in position to pick some of the many points that have been transpiring in the meeting. And another key feature is that AI generated meeting summarizes and action. It has also action items. So it will give you some bullets of what has been transpiring in the meeting, and also it has searchable transcripts with the speaker identification. It will not just generate for you a report, but you will be able to know who exactly said this point or who exactly brought in this suggestion. And it has time-stamped highlights and shareable clips. It will be able to tell you at what point or at what time did the meeting start, at what time was this point mentioned. So it will have the timestamp. Whenever it captures a point, it also captures the time that the point was mentioned. Then it has the CRM and productivity tool with integrations like the HubSpot, has Slack, it has Notions, which supports dozens of languages for transcription and summarizes. So it means even if there is someone who used the French, another one used the German, but it will be able to transcribe and give you the language that you can be able to understand. So we also have the practical working of that AI. So during a meeting, AI captures audio, transcribes spoken words into text, identifies different speakers, analyzes the conversation, and produces summaries, action items, and searchable transcripts. So it can be able, you can be able to share these summaries with different people who attended the meeting, and even those ones who did not manage to attend the meeting. So this enables users to review, share, and manage meeting information. And meeting information efficiently. So we also have the link. I'm very sure we can be able to come up with a simple, either Zoom or Google Meet, and then we see how this tool can be used. The reason as to why we're showing you this, because we know that as you are here, you are just starting. You'll be attending a number of online meetings, maybe also online classes, because you'll be at home and they will ask you to join an online class. You'll not be able to capture each and everything that will be discussed in that class. So you can use this tool to remind yourself after the class. Then we have what we call 11 Labs. 11 Labs is also one of the AI tool, and is an AI voice generation and text-to-speech platform. So with this, it can be able to take in the voice. Have you ever, I know that you always follow things online. Have you ever seen they've got someone whose image and they've given or they get a different speech or a voice from somewhere, then they just attach it to someone's image, and that person, as that person is speaking, you think that it is so and so who said this, but it is not true. So this kind of AI, you can be able to generate an image. You can generate a voice. So you can create an avatar, and then you generate also a voice, and then you add them together. You make the avatar to appear as if he's the one saying these words, but which is not true. So all this is the power of AI. The reason, that's why I asked that how many of us here are content creators on TikTok, because those things, there are very many on TikTok, people who create different images and then give them different voices. So this one, it converts written text into realistic human-like speech in multiple languages and accents. It is widely used for audio books and then voice overs, podcasts, dubbing, and accessibility applications. You see, when you get, how many of you here listen to audio books? For you say, me, I don't have time of sitting and reading the book, but I can just listen to it. So you hear someone explaining a book. So this is how they can be able to get it. So you give it, you can give it a text, and it gives you the audio. It converts the text into the audio. These things, we are going to try them, and then we see how they can be able to work. So a user enters a text or provides a voice sample. The AI processes the input using text to speech and then voice synthesis technology. You give it an input, it will process that input, and it gives you the output. So after that, then it will be able to generate realistic audios that sounds like a human being speaking, and you will be able to hear the feedback. So the platform can also replicate, can be able to replicate specific voices, translate speech into multiple languages, and create high quality voice overs for various applications. We have a number of AIs. Some of them, we have not talked about them here, but we shall be able to demonstrate them in the lab. So these are some of the few that we have picked to talk about here, but we have very many of them. And now you have to understand that some of these tools are open free. You can use them freely. Some of them you pay money. Now, as they keep on advancing, you realize that they can do certain things. But if you want more quality and advanced work, you need to pay some money. For instance, we are going to try ChatGPT, and you'll see that there is a free version that you can use. It will allow you to do a number of things. But then, if you want specific things, it will ask for some money. So it means if you have money, still you can pay, depending on what maybe the business or the kind of work you want it to do. It is okay. But there are very many of them. Just like I said, you should, or you need to know how to use them, to write the rightful prompts, and also you should have an idea of what you are looking for. Because if you just go and give it maybe a prompt. It will also give you the output. But you have to ask yourself, is this what I want? Okay, thank you. That is what I had prepared for this session. Maybe if there are some questions, we can interact. But for the practical, we are going to be in the lab. We are going to try these things. We are going to see how we can use them. And you're going to realize that there are some tools, AI tools, which are embedded in some of our daily activities. Like, for instance, those people who are always busy in writing emails, scheduling activities, maybe on Google Calendar, maybe using the Google Drive, you find that there are some AI which are embedded there, and they can be of help when you are doing your activities. For now, I request that we end here for today. Maybe I'll ask Mr. Soita to step in if there is maybe any communication to put across. And also, if you have a question,